Good morning. Good morning. My name is Caleb Kemp, and I am a college and career coordinator at the Little Bit Foundation. On behalf of our agency and our CEO, Miranda Walker Jones, we would like to thank you for joining us for our virtual transferable skills seminars, also known as VTS, brought to you by Citi. So, just a quick snippet about who we are as the Little Bit Foundation. We're a nonprofit organization whose mission is to break down the barriers to learning for students between pre-K and 12th grade in the St. Louis area. So we currently serve in about 60 plus schools and service about 17,500 students each year, giving them essentials for them to be successful in the classrooms essentially each and every day. So what we're doing here today. Today we're live from Vashon High School, so please give it up for yourselves for being here in the audience. Give it up for yourselves. And for everyone online, we are here at Vashon High School, home of the Wolverines. We would like to thank Sergeant Harris and all his hard work for helping us put this together, as well as Dr. Houston and his administrative team, and Mr. Bowers as well for being here and letting us use his space. So we're welcome. We're thankful to be here. We're thankful for having y'all in the audience. And for everybody that's online, we're thankful for having you here with us as well. Without further ado, I will bring up my other coordinator, which is Callie Ingram, and she will come up here and give you some housekeeping rules. So please make your way to the front, Miss Callie. Can y'all give it up for Miss Callie, please? Give it up for her, There we go.
Okay. Hello, good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Y'all doing good today? Well, thank y'all for being here on today. We want to thank Promazone for also funding this VTS program on today. So I just want to give y'all just a few housekeeping rules. For those online, please make sure you sign in. We definitely need your attendance for today. And for those in-house, make sure you ask some great questions on today. We have some lovely guests here on today that took their time out to come and speak to you guys today. So make sure you ask some good questions, stay engaged. Let's stay focused. Y'all ready to have a good time? Y'all don't sound like y'all ready to have a good time. Y'all not in class. Y'all here to ask some good questions. Y'all here to learn about y'all future, some different career paths up here. Y'all not excited? Yes. I hope. Okay, well, we thank y'all for being here on today. And those online, we also thank you again for today. Please be sure to sign in for today. We are also doing a drawing for a gift card, a Visa gift card today. So be sure to do attendance. And someone in the room is also going to be entered into that drawing and pulled to get that gift card. Anybody want to draw? Anybody want to be the one to get that gift card? Y'all not excited enough for me. That is a gift card. You got to ask some good questions. Be engaged. But we thank y'all. I'm going to hand it back over to Caleb. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Callie. Thank you for that. All right, y'all. So, like she said, online, please make sure you all sign in. You will be put into a drawing. One of your students online at one of the schools will win, and then somebody here in the audience will also win a card. So, like she said, though, just be attentive, ask questions online. Make sure you ask questions as well, and we'll make sure we answer as many of those questions as we can. So, while we're here today, the topic for today is finding your pathway to your personal pathway to success. So it's all about success, your future, and just making sure that you're good for your next steps, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or a senior. Just making sure you're good for the next years. In today's topic, we're going to talk to a panel of professionals. We're going to make sure that they give you all the information that you need for the future. And then, of course, if it's not the profession you want to go into, it's still great to talk to professionals and make sure that you have as much advice and much things as you can take with you as you go into the future. So without further ado, I'm going to have them introduce themselves, and then we'll get started.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brittany Saunders, and I work for Access Point, which is a nonprofit organization. I am an Impact and Development Associate. Is it better? No, it's for the camera. There we go. All right, sorry. My name is Brittany Saunders, and I'm with Access Point, a nonprofit organization that helps students, seniors, and out-of-school graduates with a career in software engineering. I am an Impact and Development Associate.
Hello, my name is Lauren Redded, and I am a nurse supervisor, nurse preceptor, but I just finished my degree for my nurse practitioner. So.
I'm Staff Sergeant Esparza. I'm with the United States Army National Guard, and I'm an infantryman, but I also help teach high school students who enlist in the National Guard prior to leaving high school, and then preparing them for basic training.
My name is Vashon Garms. I'm with the United States Army Reserve component. I've done, last December, I've been in for 20 years. So I've been an MP, an engineer, a drill sergeant. In my civilian world, I'm actually a 911 dispatcher. So there's different avenues that I've gone through.
Perfect. We appreciate you all being here. Can you give them a round of applause for them being here? All right, so we're going to get right into these questions then. So first thing, we're at a high school. So when you graduated, what did you want to do when you got out of high school?
I wanted to be an educator. I wanted to be an elementary school teacher once I graduated.
And I knew I wanted to work in healthcare. I was just debating between nursing and medicine, so I did end up choosing nursing.
I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I went to college and then had all of my semesters paid for through scholarships.
I did the same when I got out of high school, went to college, had my family, and then joined the military.
Perfect. And so that's perfect. That segue right into the next question is, so if somebody in high school doesn't know what they want to do after high school, what would you say to them? What's some advice that you would give them?
It's okay if you don't know what you want to do right after high school. Sometimes it takes years to find what works for you, but make a plan. Start trying to find things that interest you. It's something that you'll do every day, so you might as well enjoy the work that you do.
Yeah, and I would like to piggyback off of that as well. College is expensive. School is expensive. So, you know, if you might not go the traditional 4-year route if you don't know what you want to do. So that means you do community college, if you go to trade school, just try and find something productive to do until you figure out what you're passionate about. But definitely do something, but find what you're passionate about and then go full speed ahead.
Yeah, I'd say just keep moving forward. Your passions are going to change. What you enjoy right now is going to change, especially whenever you get older. But just keep moving forward. So just try different things that you feel like you would like, whether that be in law or in the medical field or just working down the street. Just don't stop. Don't just stay stagnant.
My big thing that I've always told my kids is that if you're going to go through, decide what you want to do, but do the research. Go do the research and ask a lot of questions. If you feel that you're going to go through something and you don't like it, you just like the looks of it, like say the military. Well, I like the looks of it, but you've got to know what's all entails. That goes for any job there, any kind of career that you want to do. You want to make sure that you're doing the research, and that's exactly what you are looking for. And if it's not, then you can always change your career again. Don't ever feel like you're stay in one position and one job for the rest of your life if you're not happy. Always know that you can always go do something else.
Yeah, that's perfect. Appreciate those answers. So just from the audience real quick, who knows what they want to do after high school? It's by a show of hands. You said your hand first. Wait, tell me what you want to do.
I want to be a nurse.
You want to be a nurse? Perfect. Anybody else? Who else had their hand up? What you want to do? That's dope. Anybody else? I saw some hands on this side. Anybody? You good? All right. You don't want to share? That's all right. That's cool. So we got one right here. Real estate? Perfect. We got some connections to real estate. What's up, bro? A lawyer? That's dope, bro. That's dope. So we got a few. Come on. Drive trucks? Perfect. Doctor? Perfect. There we go. What's up, bro? General Motors? All right, cool. So we got one more? Come on. You said one? CNA? Perfect. All right, cool. So we got some people. Keep them coming. You said police officer? That's dope. So we got some people out here that know what they want to do. If you don't know, like they said, it's perfectly fine. Y'all got plenty of time. And you can also change at any point in your career. But just make sure you have a plan. Make sure you put in action and make sure you do it. But that's dope that so many of y'all already know what y'all want to do. That's definitely cool. So next question. Just for people that you may work with, the students you may work with, what are some of the troubles that you might see when it comes to them deciding what they want to do with their life? What are some troubles you might see from some students or some people you work with that are younger that might have trouble deciding what they want to do with their life or their career?
I would say within the field that I work with and working with high school seniors and recent high school graduates, it's the unknown. Home life, there might be barriers that they feel like, well, I may not be able to do what I want to do because I don't have a scholarship, or we don't have the funds, or I have to help take care of a sick parent. But you can still accomplish those goals. It just takes a different path. And then not really talking about your barriers. Find a trusted adult that you can talk to, and let them know what's going on, that whether it's a school counselor, I have these dreams or goals, but I don't know how to go about it. And in that instance, they can help you formulate a plan. It might take a bit, but there are ways to find resources, scholarships, all types of things that would not make that a barrier for you. So it's always good to have a trusted adult, or you could call them a mentor, to talk to.
And I honestly would say the confidence to think that you can do it, or that you have the ability to do it. You all are more than conquerors, and you all are able to do it. And if nobody has told you, you can do it. Whatever you want to do. I heard lawyer, I heard forensic scientist, I heard nurse, I heard police officer, I heard so many things. Never let anyone or anything stop you all from what you all want to do. And that includes yourself. So sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. So I would say making sure that you get out of your own way, and then also never let anyone stand in your way.
I would say all plans are good until first contact, right? So your plan may be your plan in 2026, but in 2027 something crazy could happen. Like an example is whenever I was in college, and then I enlisted into the National Guard and went to training, ended up going on a deployment immediately following that. So within a month I was gone, and I left for Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And then whenever I was over there, COVID-19 happened. So the plan to go back to college was completely scrubbed, and I had to come up with a new plan. So your plan may be your plan at this moment, but just be prepared to change it.
I'm going to caveat what you said. It's going to be influence. It's going to be influence. Anybody that wants to be, you said you wanted to be a police officer? Okay. You think you'll go in that career path? Because what I've seen with a lot of teenagers, and I have a teenager of my own, is influence from others to be like, well, is that what you really want to do? But always keep what you feel, right? No barriers. And just keep moving forward. And if that's what you want to do, then that's your plan. So I would say influence.
Perfect. That'll transition us right into our next. Well, first off, any questions in the audience right now? Got any questions? Good. Perfect. So, like I said, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask online as well. We get to those questions as well. But what are some skills that students should focus on while transitioning to a professional space once they graduate from high school?
Customer service, communication is a must. You can't avoid phone calls or text messages or emails. That could be the difference of you getting a position that you want or an opportunity versus them thinking, well, they're not interested. I'm not going to attempt to continue to communicate. So customer service, that respect and that communication is key.
Also piggyback communication, you all will hear it everywhere. Like, you all have to know how to communicate, and you will be surprised how many adults, people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s that don't know how to communicate. So if you start early. And then also, I would also say tact. I know this is kind of a little different one, but tact, in that there are going to be disagreements, there are going to be things that, it's just life, right? But being able to navigate those things and having a finesse about how you deal with disagreements or miscommunications or anything, honestly, being able to have that finesse is something you also don't see a lot. So if you all can, start learning those skills in real life, that would be great too.
Yeah, with that finesse and that tact comes with mutual respect. So whenever I started my career, I was 18 years old, and then I had a birthday at 19, or I turned 19 while I was on deployment. But my job was to protect individuals who are a lot older than me. There were individuals who survived 9/11, individuals who survived different terrorist attacks or lost their family members during different attacks. And having that ability to communicate with them and give them respect so that they gave me that same respect back, to trust that I would protect them throughout the entire time that I had them in my, not custody, but my care. Yeah, thank you. Having that mutual respect, and then also the audacity. Having audacity to know that you are able to succeed in whatever you so choose. So like maintaining that audacity that I will be the best police officer or the best truck driver or the best lawyer that is to ever come from this school. Maintaining that audacity while keeping the respect of everybody around you is very beneficial to carry on throughout your life.
Discipline. You're going to need a lot of discipline wherever you go. Doesn't matter if you're going to work or going to the store. Same with respect. Same with, you're going to carry that into whatever field that you go into. Like Sergeant Sparza
I need Miss Moore to the main office.
went to Gitmo, and he helped the individuals, the families with 9/11. I was on the opposite end. I was in the prisons, and I was pretty much guarding the detainees, the ones that were involved in the attacks or involved in certain things that shouldn't have been. So discipline for me, not to, give them the finger or yell at them or tell them that they suck. That was my discipline.
Cool, perfect. So I know one big thing for me in college was networking. Learning how it works. So I think a big question that we want to ask is just how important is networking, and how important has it been for you in your career so far, in your journey so far?
It's definitely important. You never know who you're going to connect with and how it will lead you into an opportunity later on down the road. Or they know a person that knows a person, and those connections can help a friend or family member with the position or anything. So never be afraid to have that confidence to get up and talk to someone and just introduce yourself and what your interests are, or find out what their interests are that may correlate with yours. But definitely definitely network. It does pay off.
Yeah, woo child. Okay, so I jokingly call myself an extroverted introvert. I'm an introvert at heart. I can sit in the back of the room and not talk to anybody and be just fine. But in the real world, you got to talk to people. Just like I'm sitting in front of you all right now, you have to talk to people. You have to put yourself out there. And, sometimes people will see you if you don't, but more than likely you have to be the one that is advocating for yourself and putting yourself out there and putting yourself in positions to meet people that can help you in your journey. So networking is huge. No matter what you're doing, networking is huge, unless you're a hermit that's on your computer streaming all day. Like it's just definitely necessary. So I would say even for the people that are shy or the people that are, not comfortable putting themselves out there, get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, networking is I feel like a fancy word of making friends, because everybody wants to do business with their friends. Everybody wants to talk to their friends and help their friends out. But if you are somewhat of a person who's very respectful to everybody you meet and friendly overall and giving each other smiles, they will be willing to help you out, because there's going to come a day where you may need something from the person you networked with or you became friends with. And they will inconvenience themselves to help you out. Whether that's your friend that you met 2 years ago in college is a mechanic and there's something going on with your car, sometimes they'll be willing to help you out. And if you decide, hey, maybe I want to go into that field, they will be the ones that you talk to. So those networks that you create and those friendships that you make will be very beneficial to you later on down the road. It's just maintaining those relationships as you grow overall.
Yeah, just network, ask questions, and then whatever talent you all have later on, you can give that same kind of respect and give the help that anybody else needs. So it's a give or take. Just make sure you're just open to questions and networking and whatever it is that you need to do to succeed.
I just have one more thing to add. First impressions make all the difference in the world. So, yes, you're going to network, but it's how you come to them, how you speak, how you present yourself, how you're dressed. So that's a very important factor, and also networking with people.
Perfect. That's dope. So, real quick, just by a show of hands, who would consider themselves an introvert? Just by a show of hands, who would consider themselves an introvert? Y'all know the difference between introvert and extrovert, right? Yeah, perfect. So I'm guessing, is everybody else an extrovert then? So introvert, you're more to yourself, you're quiet, you're more to yourself, things like that. Extrovert, those are the talkers, what people may consider like a class clown for some people. So introvert, if you're more quiet to yourself, raise your hand real quick. Okay. Extrovert, if you're an extrovert, raise your hand. If you know you a talker, you know you get along with a lot of people. I figured that. Perfect. So, being an introvert, being an extrovert, it take you a long way. Sometimes it's about balancing both, because it's in all of us. And it's both of them are in all of us. So it's just about balancing it out. But that's dope. Thank y'all for participating with that and raising y'all hands. Let's see. Let's go into just what you all do on an everyday basis. So what does an everyday look like for each one of you all, just in your job, in your field, and the things that you do?
My days vary. They're not the exact same every single day. Sometimes I work with my past students that have been in the program. I was a case manager before I became an impact and development associate. So while they're training to become a software engineer, helping them with their attendance, keeping up with their grades, helping them with hypercare or outside barriers that might be happening that may prevent them from focusing on class. So I also check in with those that have graduated on and gotten full-time positions with companies like MasterCard, Ameren, Evernorth, things like that, to make sure that they're still on the right path, helping them find resources to purchase their own home, moving on to different positions. And then I also assist in my current position with helping funding for our program to keep the wheels going. So networking, meeting other organizations, reaching out to other students that might be interested in making that a career. So my days can vary.
And for me, I kind of moved into a more soft nursing life. So I did neuro on the floor. I did labor and delivery for a little bit. And so I basically train nurses to be able to do their jobs in the clinics that I work for. So I provide regional support for them. So that includes trainings, that includes, retrainings, education, any initiatives that come through. I'm usually the one tasked with making sure that our nurses and medical assistants are able to do that.
I just started my position that I'm at now. Before I was with the infantry, I was a squad leader for a scout sniper platoon. So I would plan the trainings for engagements over 800 meters, which is about half a mile, while also planning trainings for working with drones, making ghillie suits, teaching people how to do those things, communications over radios. And then now at my new position, I plan trainings for individuals before they go to basic training, and help them get to the point at which they can be successful in basic training and eventually become a soldier.
My everyday is not wearing this. This is only my 1 week in a month. My everyday is signing on at 6 a.m. and start getting phone calls. So, like I said, I was a 911 dispatcher, or I am a 911 dispatcher. So I get the phone calls. I get anywhere from attempted suicides to shootings to car accidents. So I get those. That's my everyday job. And then one weekend out of the month, I drive on down to Arkansas and do my field training and everything else that needs to get done.
Cool. So, any questions in the audience, real quick? Any questions? Talk to us.
Me?
Me? At which one? The once a month or every day? I do. Because there's a lot of times that you can actually help somebody. I've helped. So my job is to find out what they are, where they're at, what's going on, what they're doing. I've had little kids lost in Mark Twain National Forest, if you've ever been out there. I've had old ladies call because they don't know what they're doing. I've had people on the other end not knowing if they want to live. So yes, I do. And to have that gratifying knowing that I can actually help somebody in their time of need, that is yes. So yes, my answer is yes.
Any other questions? Any other questions? You good for right now? Perfect. Perfect. All right. So just starting off your career and starting off, your journey with school or whatever it might have been, what was kind of the hardest thing that you had to overcome? What was the hardest thing that you ran into?
Well, I attended college twice, different times in life. So I graduated. I had a full ride, $40,000, and I decided to go to Harris Stowe because I wanted to be an educator. I thought I had everything mapped out to the T of how school was going to go. I was a cheerleader. I did student government. I had a full-time workload, so I was piled on high with a schedule. So my mistake was that I burnt myself out too quickly. I enjoyed it by the fourth year. I hadn't finished all the credits to graduate for my degree, and I was just burnt out. So I took a break. Life happened. I got married, had kids, and I worked, of course, during that time, but I knew I wanted something more, something better. So I eventually went back. I finally got my degree in 2023, and it's opened up a lot of more opportunities for me than before. So my suggestion is don't pile on so much at one time. Focus on the school. Yes, you can have a job if you need a job. If you don't have to have one while you're in school, it's all the better. But don't think that you can't do both. But take your time. Don't rush it. Because like they've said, life happens. Things occur. And so don't let that stop you from, if life stops you for a moment for school or your training, you can still always pick it back up. So still continue to keep going. But yeah, don't put on so much for yourself.
And I would say for me, it was not what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. I knew I had all the details planned out except for where I wanted to go. So I would say my biggest barrier was finding my place. So I went to Mo State for a semester and hated it. I went to SIUE, and then I ended up transferring. I was technically a senior at that point to UMSL, and then junior. I'm sorry, I was a junior at that point, and I ended up transferring to UMSL, and I really blossomed at UMSL. I met lifelong friends. That's where I pledged. That it just everything came full circle when I did transfer, and I kind of found my place and found my footing. I was able to meet mentors that were, nurses that were doctors, like all the cool things. So I would say finding your place, finding your footing was my biggest barrier.
I think mine was how to pay for everything outside of college credit. I had scholarships, a very knee-jerk reaction where I applied for a lot of scholarships to get it completely paid for. But it didn't include anything as far as housing or living or eating or existing day-to-day, paying your phone bill, all of those. I had no idea how I was going to pay for that, and I learned pretty quick on what a monthly expense chart was whenever I was in college, a freshman in college when I went there at 17. So I had no idea how I was going to pay for it, which the signing bonus was pretty enticing whenever it eventually led to that. So
I would say for me, it would have been the fear of the unknown and then challenging yourself. So how many of you here are afraid of or fear of have the fear of the unknown. What's going to happen in your future? And not knowing if it's going to pan out. But then you challenge yourself. So that's what I did. So going into the Army, I was supposed to do a 3-year stint. Just that's it. My contract was for 3 years. And now I'm at 20. So I challenged myself because from then I moved on. I went to Cuba. I became a drill sergeant. I changed MOSs and became a 12 whiskey, which is an engineer, and it's masonry and carpentry. Then I moved up. Then I went, I got stationed in Texas and did that mission, did the border mission, and then did another job.
Question was, what made you stay in the Army? Mm-hmm.
Because I had opportunities there. So if you join the military, you have opportunities. Like I said in the beginning, don't ever think that you're stagnant in one area. So you can go to school, you can change MOSs, you can do whatever that it is that you want to do. And that's why I stayed in, because of those challenges. Because if I challenge myself, so getting orders to become a drill sergeant, that's challenging. Because then you're going back to school, you're going back to basic training, you're being trained by your peers, and then you're going to a unit. So I went to Fort Leonard Wood. Y'all know where Fort Leonard Wood is? So it's west. So it's going towards Springfield. So then I'm training civilians, so say you all joined, and I'm training you all to become soldiers for 20 weeks. That's a challenge because you're getting, I'd be the one getting up with these individuals that want to become soldiers, but that was another challenging moment. And then you continue on. That's what, that was my thing, is the challenge.
Cool.
Can I hop in with that?
Of course.
So she's been in for 20. I've been in for, I'm about to hit 8 years, right? It has been extremely fun the entire time, but we talked about networking before. I am currently a full-time college student as well, because the program within my career field, the Army, they're willing to get me not only a bachelor's degree, but also a master's degree through the University of Nebraska to become a physician's assistant. So I'm working on my college credits right now while working, so that I can eventually do that. And I wouldn't have known about it unless I went to a school that was harder, and I made a friend there who is already a physician's assistant, who told me all about this. So the opportunities really open up, and it guides you onto a path to stay in and enjoy it, because it's like a choose your own adventure book, essentially. You get to choose your path. If you don't like what you're doing right now, you have the opportunity to change it. You got the opportunity to go to a different unit, to maintain your happiness, and they want you to stay in, which means that they will give you different guidance on how to make your life a little bit better.
That's amazing. Get a question right here. Here we go.
Who inspired y'all to keep going?
Who inspired me to keep going?
Yeah.
My mother. Your mother. Yes. My mother inspired me to keep going, because whenever I was growing up, I didn't always get the opportunity to be around my mother because she worked so much. In turn, that made me a very independent child. So I was doing dishes at like 6 years old. I was doing my laundry at 8. I was understanding what finances were by 12. And then once I got to high school, I was 100% independent to the point at which I would get myself to school, to my morning workouts for football practice. And then I'd stay after to do workouts with either my wrestling coaches, or I'd hop in a car with my friend and go to the gym. So I became very independent. Because of that independence, I learned what that discipline and self-drive was. But I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for my mother. So that was the individual who pushed me to that point. And then once I had been in for a little bit, I had a leader who was kind of a mentor and took me under his wing whenever I got to that unit, and then guided me to greater successes. So his name was Captain, now Major Swires. He was the one who sent me to Aerosol. He's the one who sent me to all of these different schools, working with a German military individual to get an extra qualification for myself, sent me to Ranger School, and which then opened up the doors on how do I get to where I want to be a physician's assistant. And then he actually brought me over to the position that I'm at now and is holding my feet to the fire to complete all of my college credits and ask me about it weekly. So he's inspiring me now as an adult, but growing up was my mother.
That's a great question for everyone, actually. Who inspired you? Yeah.
I would say my parents, school counselors, teachers when I was in high school, and then my peers. We were all goal-oriented and focused. We knew we wanted to go to college or have a career. So having your peers also as encouragement is definitely fundamental. And then when I went back to college later in life, it was my mom again and my spouse. Just giving that extra encouragement of, well, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? So family and friends for sure.
Yep, and I'm not going to turn into a huge goober, but I would say my parents, my godfather, and that guy back there. That guy, I'm not going to say your nickname in front of everybody because we are on live stream, but my god brother, he also was huge. You see his career, this is what he does. But he's been doing that for me since forever. So going to college trips, and then even I learned about credit cards and things like that. So we had all these different opportunities because of that connection that I had with William. So I would say definitely I would say those four. And then as far as my grad school life, my daughter is really pushing me right now and making sure that I set things up for her so that she doesn't have to work so hard, so that she knows that the opportunities are limitless. So she's one of my big drivers right now.
I'm going to say my kids. My kids are a big inspiration for me because I went to school first, had my family, and then went into the military. So I already had my kids then. So they were the big inspiration for me because they were always going to be there.
Perfect. Any other questions in the audience real quick? Any questions? We good? Perfect. All right. So we're going to what does success would look like to you now compared to what it looked like when you first started your journey, or even if you want to go back to high school, but what does success look like for you now compared to back then?
I'm content and happy with what I do for a living currently. I feel like I have purpose. At this stage in life, I am more mature. I am sure of what I want to do and who I am. Whereas high school, you're still maturing and becoming yourself. And throughout your entire life, you're going to always evolve and change, and it is for the better. But I would say compared to my high school self, I'm definitely more confident. I've always been a chatty Cathy. I have no problem talking to anyone. But definitely with the later stage in life, I am happy at where I am.
I would say in high school, I had this whole thing planned out. So before 30, make $100,000, happy, yay, right? Now at 29, accomplishing the goals that I set out for myself when I was 18. Now it's influence, being able to make an impact. What is my legacy? What do I want people to remember me by? I'm not saying I'm trying to die tomorrow, but what I'm aligning what I'm doing now with my future and my legacy. So I would say that's where my head is right now.
I would say success is giving my own family the ability to never work again. So giving them an opportunity to have wealth, like generational wealth, so they can work. They know what hard work is. But if they were to ever come to a time where they're not able to work because something happened and they become handicapped, or if they themselves go through hard times and they're not able to get anything, having enough underneath them to support them up, I think then the direct people within my life would feel taken care of, therefore I'd feel successful in my own life.
I would say the same. In a year and a half, I will be retiring from one career, which is the Army. In 10 years, I'll be retiring from my civilian job. So to show my kids that there's a way to keep going and work hard, and then know that you could either A, retire early, or B, retire from 2 careers.
Dope. Question for the audience, real quick. How many of y'all want to be successful in life? By raising hands, how many want to be successful? I see everybody hands up.
Everybody.
So can I get one person to explain to me what success means to you? Is there anybody that wants to explain that? What success mean to you right now? Perfect. You got a question up here? Go ahead. Hold on. We're going to get you that microphone so people online can hear you too.
Success means, to me, in my opinion, like not being a failure and actually getting somewhere in life.
Okay. Perfect. I love it. Thank you. Anybody else want to say? Since we got one person. Anybody else? That's cool. Perfect. Cool. So, as we're wrapping things up, and like I said, we're here at the high school. We're here with y'all. What's some advice that you would give to your high school self about just life and what may be coming in the future? What advice would you give to your high school self at this point? So you pretty much talking to your younger self.
Give yourself grace. You might have everything mapped to a T on your goals, but they can change, and that is completely fine. It's all about how you deal with the obstacles or challenges afterwards, that you pick yourself back up and you keep moving until you get where you want to be.
Amen to that. I would second that. But then also, in addition to giving yourself grace, stay the course. Don't give up. Don't quit. I don't know how many of y'all are seniors? Anybody senior? No, not yet. Okay. Well, I'm just be real with y'all. Senior burnout, senioritis, all that stuff is very real. Stay the course. See it through. Don't give up. Remember what you all are doing and why you all are doing it. Find something that is your purpose and stick to it. And even if you want to change it, like she said, if you want to change it, that's absolutely fine. But stay the course. Things are not going to be easy. You're going to have problems. You're going to have barriers and challenges. But you are made by what you accomplish and your opportunities that you overcome. So, yep, that's what I would say.
That your environment doesn't define you, and find something faster than it took for me to make me happy, and stick with it. Don't make a career out of it. Just stick with it so that there's an outlet to be happy and detached from the world.
Be patient. Be patient with yourself. Not everything is going to happen overnight or in a week or in a month, but just be patient with yourself.
Perfect. And then I would just lay it out. Any last comments or advice that you would like to give these students while we're here right now in this moment?
Don't feel like that college is the only option. There are a lot of trade programs, other type of online training. With the organization that I'm with, we're giving you a fast track into a career. You're still getting your college education on the side, but it's giving you an opportunity and putting you in spaces that you may not have going right into college. And that's not a bad thing. College isn't for everyone. Trade isn't for everyone, but explore your options.
And I would say don't wait until after you walk across that stage and you have your diploma in your hand. Start doing stuff now. Start participating, start volunteering, start meeting people that are in some of the areas that you all are interested in. It doesn't have to start when you get the diploma. Start now. It's better to stay ready than to get ready. So, yeah.
I'd say recognize who your friends are, because you are the same person that they are. So if you see that your friends are doing all of these not so great things and you don't feel like they are going to be with you whenever you see yourself as successful, detach yourself as early as you can, and then find those individuals that do line up with where you want to be. That was something that I wish I would have done. And I'm glad that I did while I was still in high school, because it showed that I was able to push myself a lot harder and go a lot further with the friends that I had, because they were also doing the same thing.
Do your research. Whatever it is that you choose that you want to do, make sure you're doing your research. And don't wait until you're like 30 or 40 to do your career and then wanting to take it back. So do your research.
Cool. Perfect. Any questions? Any questions in the audience? You got one more? Cool. Perfect. You got one up here? You got me there? You can say. So the question is, after you retire, what do you see yourself doing?
So I have started a business of my own. I love baking. So it's called Brit's Blessed Baked Goods. And so and I have 2 children, 7 and 10, and my oldest is on the spectrum. And I wanted to create a space where he had a place to work and to build, like you said, generational wealth and a legacy. So I would love to continue baking. I may not be in this space, but just doing something that I love.
As much as I want to say I want my feet kicked up and I want to be on the beach in some white sand, that is my answer for real. But, I also have been, like I mentioned earlier about the legacy generational wealth. And so I've been looking at some business plans. And so hopefully by that point, the thing that I've been working on is really taking off. And then I'm able to, sit back and watch other people do, the dream that I have. So.
Right now, I'm slated to retire at 39. And I just had my son about 7 months ago. So by then, he will be 12 years old, and I fully intend on not doing anything but being available for him, because having a present family as much as you can, I feel like would really benefit him to understand on what will his definition of success look like. Will it be being available for your family as early as you can, or will it be working hard? Like, I don't know, but that's I fully intend on being a present parent and a present father for my son whenever I retire.
I'm going to breathe. Because it's nonstop going from here till the next 10 years out for my when I retire in my next career. I won't have kids at home. They'll already be graduated. Hopefully they'll be moved out of the house. But I think I'm just going to take it all in. That's a lot of years of working and 2 careers later. So that's what I'm going to do.
Cool. That's beautiful. Can we please give it up for our panelists here today being here with us? Thank you all so much for your knowledge and your advice to these students. We want to once again thank Sergeant Harris, Mr. Bowers, and also Dr. Houston as well for allowing us to be here. Students, we appreciate y'all for being here with us, rocking out and just asking great questions and being here in person. So I have Callie come back up. I think she might have some winners for us. For my people online, thank you for tuning in with us. Make sure you please get your sign-ins in and make sure everybody signed in so we can make sure we get this gift card to our winner online. But without further ado, Callie, what you got for us?
All right. Did y'all have a good time today? Yeah. Did y'all get some good information today? Yeah. Do y'all feel confident about your next steps and figuring that out? Yeah. All right. Well, we thank you guys for all just being here and taking your time out today. We just want to also just announce our winner for our Visa gift card today.
That's the important part right here.
Yeah, it's the important part. So we want to announce our Visa gift card winner today is Jalen Thomas.
Congratulations.
Jayon, I'm sorry. Jayon Thomas.
Cool. Congratulations.
Hey, Jayon Thomas. So give him a round of applause. He asked some great questions on today. So we just want to thank you all again for coming out today. And we just hope that you enjoyed it. And thank you again.
That's it. We appreciate y'all.
And one more thing.
Before you guys go, because I know you're so eager, I see you all moving and shaking. I just want to get a group picture really quickly with our panelists. So if you guys
so we'll do that. And Shelly, we'll do that. We'll do that. Shelly, we'll do that. Once we shut down the stream, we'll do that. We got you. So we appreciate everybody online. Appreciate y'all. And we good.